Rachel Berry, is
Mhm.
super threatened by Sunshine that she gives her fake address and sends her to a crack house.
Yeah. Didn't she also
Well,
think
in
that,
her
like...
defense, not an active crack house.
Hi, Carina.
Hey, Zax.
Hi, Bob.
Howdy, Zax. Hey, Carina.
Hey.
Do we all have to say hey to each other?
It's just kind of a
Is
nice
that
thing
always-
to do.
Or why don't you just say hey to each of us and then we just move on?
Well, we've been doing it this long. Why change? Ever.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Alright.
So, we're doing something special today. If you looked at the title, you'll see Deep Dish, but Rachel Berry is the worst.
Oh, it's the confluence of two series, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite dumpster fire.
Yeah, right now, talking about Lea Michele is hot, but this channel is not really about just talking trash. I mean, it is about talking about trash, but not talking trash.
Well, Lea Michele
So-
is trash, so it's fitting.
Yeah, but, okay, fine. I'm just saying, today's episode, I'm here to try to keep you two back on track, and this time I promise.
You said that when we did Endless Love.
Okay, I
but,
did
you
not
know.
promise, but I'll try. I promise I'll try to keep this thing on the rails.
That was the tutorial level.
Talk about Glee.
Yeah.
So, okay, yes. So, we've been talking about doing a video on Glee for quite some time behind the scenes, a little peek backstage for y'all. And the timing was right. When I saw that Lea Michele was really nasty to people IRL, it was like, yes, this is right. This feels right.
Your SEO senses tingled.
Yes.
your ESPN.
Yeah, your ESPN tingled.
Zax can also tell when it's already raining.
I was about to say that to you.
We know Lindsay Lohan month is over, but it's never over in our hearts.
Seriously, though. Okay. So to start things off, we watched a lot of compilation videos. And
Hold on, did you two watch Glee recently? You didn't just watch compilation videos.
No, I watched the show when it first came out, and I rewatched a few episodes today to get back into the zone.
I watch Glee vicariously through my sister who watches it because I find Rachel Berry so insufferable that I can't watch the show. So I'll talk to my sister and I'm like, what happened? And she'll be like, here's what happened. So
I watched the first season of Glee with my girlfriend at the time because she was catching up on it because in her home they didn't have TV. So we watched the first season and then she was like, I was told this show was great. Can we stop? And I said, oh, thank God you said it. And that was it. That's my experience with Glee.
Well, one thing I noticed we can all basically agree Rachel Berry, even though it's supposedly an ensemble cast, Rachel Berry's very much the star of Glee.
I thought you were about to say, I think we can all agree Rachel Berry is the worst. Thanks for watching. We all need friends.
End credits.
We're literally about to end the whole video right there.
It's a very short video today.
Yeah. Not a lot of evidence, just...
In conclusion.
We talked about our vague familiarity with Glee and our stance on Rachel Berry.
Source on this, I think it's pretty much an objective position that Rachel Berry's the worst. My source, my eyes, my ears, my brain.
My YouTube search history.
Other people's eyes, ears, and brain.
Mm-hmm. Like, I don't understand how she was eventually the main character, because she sucks.
Oh, I totally understand how. I mean, she's the most polarizing character. Like, for the characters in the show. So, like, in the same way that, like, Urkel became the main character, even though he wasn't originally supposed to be, like, it's because he has such a strong influence on every other character, because he's just got a really powerful personality. So you place him in any scenario and he steals the spotlight. Which, in, Rachel Berry's case, is exactly what she's supposed to do.
Yeah, she just grabs the spotlight and yanks it on her by
like, that's what she, as a character, does, but that's also, like, her function in the show.
I think
to just kick people out of the way and demand attention.
Like, in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, all 5 of the main cast members are horrible people. So when Danny DeVito showed up partway through the show's run, it didn't take away from anybody else because they were all already awful. If the 4 of them were kind of mediocre and then Danny DeVito showed up, he would have been the star of the show from then on. But instead, he's just joined the cast because he matches their level of impact. Collectively, they are the 5 of them are the main character of the show because the gang does things and have a huge impact on everybody else. Even if the show had been about Philadelphia, those 5 would have become the main characters just by virtue of having such a strong impact on everybody else.
I don't know. I'd kind of argue that Danny DeVito is the main character.
I totally disagree.
Just because he's Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito is amazing, and I love him, and I'm glad he's on the show. He does an amazing job on the show, but I don't think he's the main character at all.
He's such a chaos
I don't think
agent.
there is another main character, though. I don't think it's that he's not the main character because somebody else is. I think the 5 of them together are the main character, collectively.
I would say Charlie.
Maybe. I don't know.
I pick Charlie. If we're just...
I mean, Charlie, if you're looking for who's your favorite, I think Charlie is... Either Charlie or Dennis is my favorite. Well, I mean, obviously Frank is amazing.
But this isn't a deep dish about It's Always Sunny. Maybe in the future
we should. Maybe we should talk about It's Always Sunny.
Can I just say, you already broke your promise? You literally started this tangent.
You know what? All right, yeah, I broke my
It's
promise.
a little taste for a possible deep dish episode in the future.
Let me reroute us back then. What about the other characters? Who, like, imagine Rachel Berry wasn't there, right? Oh, woo! What a show that would be. Who would have been the main character?
Finn?
Finn
leaves.
definitely,
Finn seems like a very...
he's
I
very...
don't know, you say.
He's very blah, but it definitely, when
he's a
the
bit of a
show
wet paper
starts-
towel.
I mean, he's got that Bella vibe going. But when the show starts, it's definitely, it definitely seems like it's very much Finn and Rachel's show, kind of. Because, like, Finn's deal is, like, Mr. Shu watches him take a shower, and he's like, hey, you've got a great set of chops, kid. Come sing.
Also, you sing well. Also, you sing well.
Yeah.
And, so
Mr.
there's that.
Shu.
And, like, he,
Follow up to this deep dish is Mr. Shu is the word.
Mr. Shu should have gone to jail.
So many times.
But he, and it very much does start, he has the most interesting arc, technically on paper, because Rachel Berry's thing is, I'm a be a star and nobody likes me. But Finn's thing is, I'm captain of the football team.
And I sing.
I sing. I don't want to be a loser on Glee, but also my best friend knocked up my popular hot girlfriend, but I'm also in love with this nerdy girl. What am I gonna do?
Oh, no.
But then they just were like, he's got a lot of stuff going on, and, like, he has, like, he's kind of, I guess, Rachel's foil a little bit.
Well, I mean, like, that's the classic. That's the sort of the classic, or maybe it's only become classic because of Glee. I'm not really sure, but it seems like a pretty classic contrast of, like, strong football jock versus nerdy Glee thing. And if you wanted to write some kind of romance, you would just make one of them. At the time Glee came out, there wasn't a lot of gay representation on television. Certainly not from main characters. But if you if you wanted to write something like that at the time, you would just turn one of those two stereotypes into a female. Oh, girls can't play football, so it became the nerdy, and there you go. That's Glee.
The show could have been about Kurt, no problem. But they're like,
It definitely
no.
could have.
They
They
said, no, we
tried.
don't want to.
I think Kurt was my favorite character when we watched the show because he was so, like, he was sassy, but he wasn't irritating.
Mhm.
Maybe if I watched it back now, I would be, like, more, like, I would be less into the character. But, like, at the time, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
I think we got just enough Kurt, to be honest, because I think what I like so much about him is like he sort of just waltzed into the room, dig at you. I'm gonna sing an amazing song. Will I find love? Won't I? And then he leaves. But if it was just him, I feel like it might be a little too much. It's like. Because I guess the problem with Kurt's story is it's like really, really sad and tragic that if he was the main star, okay, he's getting bullied a lot for being gay. He's getting bullied for wanting to be a cheerleader. He doesn't get any solos. They go to Rachel. His dad's trying real hard to be supportive, but he doesn't know how and he's learning. Also, the closest thing he has to love until Darren Chris finally gives in is his bully who was really awful to him. Oh, I'm gonna pass on that being my main character.
No, that's exactly why. People love an underdog.
Mhm.
I mean,
And that's exactly why he should be the main character.
but the show's trying to be funny. And
Yeah,
that's just
I mean-
real sad. A lot of Kurt's stories made me cry.
Well, okay, then let me wrangle this runaway everything. This runaway pizza for a second. All right. This is a
the
deep
pizza's
dish.
the pizza's burning, I think is what we
I mean,
could refer
whatever,
to
I
our
don't care.
tangents as.
I
The
did-
point is, what was you said the show's trying to be funny. Was Rachel funny to you guys? Did you feel like it was funny that like what her bits in the show?
No.
Well, no, I think
Irritating.
But I do like that she sucked because when people were mad at her, that was very funny.
Well, that's just it. Like them dunking on her, she was the target of the jokes, not the source of the jokes. If you,
Santana's
if you know what I mean.
dunks leave me in stitches. They are so funny.
But I mean, like, isn't that the point? Like, it's not like you're supposed to laugh at Rachel going, "I'm better than you." Like that. No, that's not what's supposed to be funny. That's not the joke.
It definitely
She's the target of the joke.
Yeah, it definitely
Right?
seems like she's kind of the stereotype of like the her. I feel like every drama club they had a Rachel Berry.
I mean, we've all known dramatic people who
Yeah.
are self-centered and think they're great.
Mhm.
And sometimes those people are, masking their insecurity with it, and other times they're genuinely narcissistic. They're genuinely like so full of themselves they don't have an ounce of humility. And it's weird when you see her on screen being this being so narcissistic and everybody dunks on her and we all laugh, but to me I'm like, is this comedy? I don't know if I think this is really funny or not, because when I was watching the show, I didn't really find it funny. Like, I don't know. Even seeing her get her comeuppance didn't feel funny to me.
It's just like I think
mean, obviously, I'm
maybe
not the
it
target
would have
audience,
been
but-
like it would have been better if maybe Rachel like changed at all throughout the show, but
She does
instead
not grow.
she doesn't grow
No, of
at
course
all.
not.
She's just as insufferable on the last episode as she is on the first episode.
And that's just kind of a problem with like most teen show characters. in
Didn't the
general.
other characters basically grow?
Yeah, no, they definitely do. But
Mhm.
like because she's the star, for some reason it's like we don't have a story if she grows or whatever. And it's like, I don't know. Just who she is in episode 1 is basically who she is in the series finale that I just watched. The only difference is now she's wildly successful. So her toxicity was duly rewarded.
That sounds kind of like
Lea
Lea-
Michelle now.
Lea Michelle.
Yeah. And now she's getting her comeuppance, and we're all like, yes.
Yeah, kind of.
So, one thing, I watched a few episodes that I remembered from my first go at Glee. I rewatched them today, and I'm like, no, still not a fan. So I just would like to talk about those for a little bit. The first episode I watched, it's in season 1. I don't remember the episode. If I do find it, I'll put it up. But anyway, it's all about bad reputations, the episode. And Mr. Shu is like, hey, okay, real quick aside about Mr. Shu. Stop performing for your kids. Stop making them watch you, and stop like wanting them to find you hot. It's really
Stop
weird.
rapping.
So, okay,
Just
well,
stop teaching at this school.
since you brought that up, so like, because
Why are we here?
it'll make sense.
It makes sense.
'Kay.
Just stick with us.
Just let me do this. I will get through it. You'll see me. Okay. So, the Glee kids were like, Jane Lynch, you're always mean to us. We saw you dancing to Olivia Newton-John's Get Physical. We're gonna post it on YouTube. And everybody's laughing at her. And she's like, well, I don't like that. Glee Club needs to be suspended. And Mr. Shu was like, I think you guys are taking this out of control. They're just dumb kids. And we don't even know who did it. And then Jane Lynch is like, well, someone made this glist thing. And it's like all the members of Glee Club, and they have a point system on who's the naughtiest. And Quinn's got plus 45, but Rachel's at -5. So Rachel doesn't like that. Hold on, because Will is like, look, you kids are being too weird and bad, and people are not happy that you posted that video. And then Artie says this. He's like, maybe we should let people be scared of us and think we're bad news. Maybe then they stop picking on us all the time. And then Mr. Shu says, look, I know you guys are mad about regionals. What? Who said that? We get bullied. People throw slushies in our face every day.
Well, hang on. Rachel deserves that.
Yeah.
But Artie's in a wheelchair. Kurt and Mercedes are just out there trying to live their best lives.
Yeah, did they get slushies thrown in their face?
Yes, they all do.
Okay, well then I have no...
Finn gets slushies in his face.
Everybody but Rachel doesn't deserve a slushie to the face.
So
I guess
then,
you're saying that Rachel's ruining it for everyone.
Yes.
yeah. So then Will is like, look, you guys need to learn. So you guys are going to find songs that are good songs, but people just think they're bad now because they became a meme. So he starts, and then he passes the thing. We don't know what the song is yet. And then Jesse, he voices Kristoff later in life. So good for him.
What an upgrade.
Well, right now he's dating Rachel, so yes. He gets the Anna love later. Then, anyway, so he's like, this song, there's no redeeming this song. And then Will is like, oh yeah, hit it. And then he starts performing Ice Ice Baby, and everyone has a good time watching him sing, rap, and dance while they join in at parts. And then at the end, he looks at Jesse, he's like, you see what I'm putting down? And then Jesse's like, oh yeah, I get it now. You did this. And I'm like, wait. First of all, why did this happen? 2, no. Anyway, that's the assignment. They need to find songs like that, and they're going to perform them. And Rachel is like, I need a reputation. Oh, cute aside before I get into Rachel's thing. Kurt and Mercedes and Tina, they're like, we weren't even cool enough to get on the naughty list, so we need to do something big and bad. But everything they do, they just don't get naughty. Like, they try to take the blame for posting the video to Jane Lynch, and she's like, well, I can't thank you enough, because at this point Olivia Newton-John has actually reached out to her, and she's become she's embraced the memeness. So they don't get in trouble for that. They perform Hammer Time in the library, and everybody's just like, like, "Oh, yay, great, like, join our choir," or something like that. I forget, but it works out there, too, so they don't get in any trouble. And I was like, "Oh, you guys are little cutie pies." Back to
Aw.
Rachel's nonsense. She's like, "I need to be bad to the bone." So she invites Puck over, and then she's like, "You need to do this video with me. They're gonna do Run, Joey, Run." Anyway,
Okay.
I didn't.
Why?
Because that's the song that she's picked. It's a story song, and it's gonna make people think that she's bad to the bone. But, like, I don't.
Wait. Didn't you say that the point of this exercise was to pick songs that were like
Ice Ice Baby, basically, like, songs that, like, are good, but basically people just think it's a joke. I don't know who
Okay.
feels that way about Run, Joey, Run. If
Yeah,
they
that's
know.
what I'm thinking. Like, I don't think about the song ever.
Yeah.
But like that doesn't make it bad.
We
Do
also,
people think it's bad?
I think Rachel Berry thought it was bad.
I guess.
I guess.
I think, well, anyway, so then.
Hold on. Both of you, can you throw out some songs? Because I've got a song off the top of my dome that I think is actually a good song, but because people hated it, they don't give it a chance.
I mean, out of the top of my head, I can think of Hammer Time, but that's just because, like, you know,
Yeah.
he stole sound bites and whatnot. And all
Yeah.
that.
You know what song didn't get the credit that it deserved? Wrecking Ball.
Oh yeah, I did like
Yeah.
Wrecking Ball a lot, but all people
Yeah.
care about is just the.
Yeah, Wrecking Ball. All the people care about is the music video. It's like, okay, yeah, she's naked or whatever in the music video. Who cares? Like,
Yeah.
Lots of
That's
people are
fine.
naked in music videos.
believe it or not, you're naked under your clothes. So, like, let's all calm down.
It's also
Wait, I
weird
am?
too. It's also just weird too because like the song's literally called Wrecking Ball, so like if the music video didn't include a wrecking ball.
Everyone was going to be like, Miley, missed opportunity. What were you thinking?
My
Yeah,
main
like-
thing was like I was just like really interested in her tan lines and that nobody was like, can we just spray it real quick?
Hey, does anybody have like some Australian gold that we can like brush on her? No?
Like,
All right,
'cause
Miley,
I
I
mean,
guess you're good.
But, like, I don't know. I think the song... genuinely, I think the song composition's pretty decent. Like, I think the mixing's fine, and her singing's fine, and the lyrics are interesting. Like, there's a band called Boy Sets Fire. I really like them. They did a cover of it for, like, a charity thing, and it was great. It's a great cover. And then if you go to the comment section, every one of the comments is like, this song sucks, but it proves that you can make any song good if you have a talent. Like, I agree they're a talented band, but why do you think this song sucked?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'll be honest, I love that album. Bangers was good. I
Mhm.
listened to like Can't Stop is such a bop, Adore makes me cry, and Wrecking Ball is really good. So like people needed to just calm down because like she also Hannah Montana had been over.
Yeah. Everyone's like, oh my god, this ruins Hannah Montana. I'm like, Miley's like 23 right now.
Also, like,
Yeah.
can we just real quick? Can we just talk about what a non-issue that whole Salvia nonsense was? That scandal was so.
I don't even know what
lame.
you're talking about.
Me
Like,
either.
okay, around the same time, people were like, "Oh my gosh, she's gonna be another tragic child star." Because there's this video. Honestly, even if she was smoking weed, who cares? But
Wait, was she smoking salvia?
yeah.
You know salvia's stronger than weed.
But it's legal, technically, at this point in time because it wasn't a thing. But anyway,
I'm so stupid. This whole time I thought Salvia was a person.
she was just
Okay.
smoking salvia to the
I
ground
didn't-
with a gun.
No, like I didn't look into like what the scandal was. So like at the
Yeah, I've
time
never
I was
even
like,
heard of
who's
this scandal.
Salvia? What?
No, it was like a whole thing. Even when, like, she shortly after went on SNL and they did a sketch where she was dressed as Justin Bieber and they were talking about their thing. And, like, it was a whole thing. People were so like, oh my gosh, she's tragic. But, like, she's, first of all, it's not even like she's wilding out of the town. She's in a hotel room or a bedroom. I don't know. Rich people
She's
have very
probably at her
large
friend's
rooms.
house
Yeah,
on a
it was
Friday
very,
night.
they were all sitting there, you know, and she's just like laughing or whatever. I mean, as long as no one went driving after,
Mm-hmm.
literally,
I mean-
who cares?
I mean, that's like a whole different discussion, right? People are talking about people don't like drug use, period. So
but I'm
like
just saying that, like,
at the time, the general consensus was, even if you're at home doing nothing, drug use bad. So like,
But like
that's not specific to her. That's just generally.
But like that's part of why people were so like, oh, look at this train wreck. She's smoking the drugs and she's on naked on a wrecking ball. She's falling apart.
The marriage image.
I mean, people talking about Wrecking Ball ruining Hannah Montana, like they basically did. Their reaction was basically equivalent to Bill Cosby, right? Like we're all like, oh god, this has really ruined the Cosby Show for me, with good reason.
Yeah,
I can't watch the Cosby Show anymore. I don't want to.
Yeah,
and I don't know why people talked about, or even still sometimes talk about Hannah Montana like that. When it's like, I mean, I didn't watch Hannah Montana growing up, but like, if I did, it doesn't change anything.
It literally hasn't affected my enjoyment of the show at all.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we need to do a deep dish on the Hannah Montana movie because that's something.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so Rachel Berry.
Oh, right. I was talking about this episode. Right, her bad reputation. Okay, so here's where I didn't even get... Sorry. Okay. Here's where it goes wrong. So then she does the reveal. Also, we don't see anyone else. I think the writers of the show could not think of anything other than Ice Ice Baby that had a bad reputation.
I just don't think they wanted to involve the rest of the cast in the show. They're like, yeah, you're all talented, but like, this is the Lea Michele show. Sorry.
I mean, both of those are possibly true. It's also possible that they reached out for other songs and didn't get permission. Because remember, they have to license these things, and to license it, you need to explain why you want to use it. And so the artist might be like, hey, nobody thinks my song is bad! And then
they go to their managers and they're like, guys, when you told me my song was bad, they're like, no,
you tell me! It's like, no, your song's not bad. That's the point of the show. They're saying the song is good.
No.
It's like, but you didn't tell me people didn't like it.
What do you mean people like my song? I thought I did a good job.
I don't like the song. It's a good song. No, it is a good song, buddy. It's okay. You did a good... No, shh. It's okay. Can somebody get her a coffee? Oh, God.
Okay, so...
This is Alex Pettifer when he hears his movies are bad.
Yeah, basically.
I'm
sorry. Hold on. Let me do Alex Pettifer's American accent version of... Because I can't do his real accent. His American accent version of hearing it. Oh, I can't believe that people don't like my acting. What? I thought my trapezoid face and trapezoid body would have convinced them that I'm a good actor. What? I can't believe it.
Oh no.
Why would you say that mean thing about me and my acting?
Don't bring him up because now you're making me want to say...
And occasionally on Kind of Friends. Why would you say that?
We're gonna catch
That's
a
right.
lawsuit.
He's responding to me specifically in this scenario.
You're on a Skype call with him.
It's just me and him. He's not even... we're just talking in person, and I'm like, hey, Alex Pettifer, I don't think you're a very good actor. And he's like, what?
What do you mean?
You were my target audience all along. My core demo only has one person in it. It's a 27-year-old fat Indian man.
Oh my gosh, Alex Pettifer, poor guy. Okay.
No, we don't feel bad for him.
On my bingo sheet, right there.
We don't feel bad for Alex Pettifer on this show.
That might as well be on the channel banner. We don't feel bad for Alex Pettifer.
Okay. Let me
Rachel
finish
Berry.
this episode. I had other examples, people.
I like how this episode has been timed to kind of capitalize on the current popularity of Lea Michele and her drama, and we've decided to say more negative things about Alex Pettifer in the first 30 minutes of this recording than anything we've said about Lea Michele.
Wouldn't be a deep dish episode without it.
Yeah.
Everyone got your bingo cards out?
Oh, no, mine is already full.
Bingo!
Yay!
Okay. Come to the front at the end of the game to collect your prize.
Your prize is nothing.
If we went to play bingo and you went bingo, that would be Oh, that's so adorable.
Anyway, so we
Bingo.
see. So here's Rachel Berry's performance. So she has Puck, and he's singing the first verse, and he's like, "Run, Joey, run!" And then the second verse comes, and now Jesse, uh, her boyfriend of the time, he's singing, and then then it cuts to the third verse, and now Finn's singing, and so it keeps going back between three guys. So she asked all three of them to be in her music video, and then it's over, and then she's clapping, but nobody else is clapping, and then he's like, "Hey, I'm your boyfriend. Why was I triple cast?" And then Puck is like, "Yeah, that's not cool. Like, I didn't even want to because we weren't even gonna like make out or anything. So like, why was I part of this?" And then Finn's like, "You're just using the three of us to make it look like a bunch of guys are fighting over you so you can have like a bad girl image when really you're just like a nerdy loser or whatever." And then they're all mad at her, and then she's like, "But guys, no, it wasn't like that." And then Finn's like, "It's exactly like that, and you really care about your dumb reputation more than your relationships." And they all three walk out, and I was like, "Bye, boys."
No.
Bye, boys.
Bye.
They're all mad at her.
Aw, beans.
So that's like a good, I think, example. Because, like, when you're watching the show for the first run, you might be like, "Man, she really goofed it, but she's gonna, like, learn from this. And, like, her reputation isn't going to be more important than her relationships." I am going to tell you right now, that's not the case. She only cares about what other people think. And when things don't go her way, she just throws little tantrums.
Mm-hmm.
Next example. This is a little one, and I think everybody, if you've seen like the compilation videos, you've seen this clip. So there's this girl, Sunshine, who has a stunningly amazing voice. And Leah Michelle at first is like, "Oh, you're like a fan of me." And then they have like a little gaga sing off together in the bathroom. And Sunshine very much holds her own until Jane Lynch bursts in and is like, "Hey, shut
up."
Which is fair. Let's be honest. That's fair.
Have you ever
Yes.
walked in on somebody like in a public bathroom singing?
No.
Yes.
I've like
I have.
walked past like a bathroom and I've heard somebody like jamming out and I'm like, I'm not gonna interrupt.
On 2 separate occasions I have, but one of those I totally get because they were about to go on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And I was backstage because I was working as I was just one of the guys moving the sets around and stuff.
Mhm.
And so I went into the bathroom and they were kind of just doing vocal exercises and I just left them to it, obviously, right? Like, what am I supposed to do, beat them up? Like, no, I just left them to it.
I have to
and
pee,
so, like,
get out.
"Hey, nerd, shut up!" You know, like, but the other time, somebody full-throated, just like, singing at the top of their lungs, washing their hands in a gas station bathroom. And I was stunned. They weren't very good at singing. They weren't bad, but they
Not great.
certainly weren't going to make it in show business. And I was, I went in there and I needed to go to the bathroom. And I thought they would stop when I got in there, and I realized there were like 3 other people standing in there waiting for a urinal, and they were all looking at this guy who's not looking at any of them. And
It's just fine, man.
I was like, I needed to use a stall, and I went into the stall, whatever, I was doing my business, and I heard someone walk up to him and say, "Excuse me, can you stop?" And the guy stopped abruptly, and then I heard shuffling feet as he walked out.
Oh.
And I was like, man, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know how you thought this was gonna end.
Yeah.
Similar energy. I was walking through one of the buildings on my campus, and it's like kind of in the basement, and I thought it was just me, and it was not, because I heard like music playing off of somebody's phone, and I'm like, what's going on? And as I continue down the hallway, I see that person and her friend are filming a TikTok. And I'm like, if I keep walking, I'm gonna be in the back. So I stop, but they both saw me and we made eye contact and we just kind of started giggling because we're like, whoa, sorry. And then I ran away. I'm like, I don't mean to interrupt. You were killing it. Sorry.
Well,
I mean, I thought you were gonna say something like, we made eye contact and we both cringed, but you started giggling because you were like, "Yeah, I'm down with what you're up to."
I thought it was just like really like wholesome, just like her and her friend just filming a video.
I
And
mean,
I'm
I
like,
guess
"Aw."
I'm glad they didn't make eye contact with me. I would have shook my head.
oh gosh, that's very different
Hold on,
energies.
can I tell a different story? Because you just reminded me of something.
Sure.
Like a very short story.
Okay.
Okay, I was walking on campus, getting back to my car, after class one time. I was at college, and I heard music in front of me, and I was walking like slightly faster than I normally do, because I thought it was going to rain, and I know that because, normally I walk very slowly. I'm not that fast. I'm also not that tall, so I walk pretty slowly. People are usually passing me. This time I'm walking faster than most people. And I'm walking and I hear music and it sounds like it's coming from someone's phone. And I'm like, I don't see anybody listening to music. And as I got close, I realized that there was somebody listening to music. And it was actually a couple. And they're walking ahead of me and his phone is in his left hand and she's on his left. They have headphones plugged in, and they're sticking in one headphone in each of their ears as they're walking. And I'm like, whatever, that's fine. You're allowed to do that.
That's cute.
It's cute or whatever. It's not that cute that they were listening to music so loud that I could hear it from a distance.
Do you think they just forgot to plug in?
No,
their phone?
listen. I'm not done.
Oh.
Because while they're doing that, they're trying to have a conversation and screaming at each other. And she has her phone to her other ear because she's talking to her mom.
What?
And she's like screaming into her phone and screaming at her boyfriend just to talk over the music.
Just,
Like a pleasant conversation at full volume.
hi, Mom! Are we having chicken
Yeah,
for
it's just like,
dinner?"
yeah, class went well! I'm like, what are you doing? Just stop the music for a second! Just pause it!
Oh, wait. I'm so sorry.
Like, you can catch the back half in a minute!
I'm really sorry to keep, like off track from talking about Rachel Berry. I swear this will take, 3 seconds. One more music story. I was leaving campus once, and my sister and our friend were gonna pick me up. And so I'm walking out of, the main building. I see this car approaching, and Mississippi Queen by Mountain is blaring. I'm like, please don't be behind.
That's a great song to blare out of your windows.
Out of her 2014 Nissan, and then, they skid to a stop, stick their heads out the window and go, "Hey!" And then, the people who are walking behind me also hear the music, and they start, jamming out. They're like, "Ooh, yeah." I'm like, I swear to God. And what makes matters worse is my sister has a video of this from her point of view, and you see me shuffling up to the car in embarrassment.
Oh no.
I'm like, please don't.
Please send us that video so we can put it on screen right now.
If I can find it, I will.
Great. Fantastic.
I love all 10 of these stories. But I want you guys to picture me. I have a stack of paper of my notes that I kept being like, okay, we'll get to these in a moment.
At the top of that page, it says Rachel Berry Notes.
But then halfway through, I just gave up and I threw them all over the room.
First rule of Deep Dish, don't prepare notes, because you will not read them.
Okay, but let me...
You might as well have written up a list of things we weren't going to talk about.
So anyway, bathroom singing comes to a halt. Rachel Berry,
Unfortunately.
not Leia Michelle. Rachel Berry is
Mhm.
super threatened by Sunshine that she gives her fake address and sends her to a crack house.
Yeah. Didn't she also
Well,
think
in
that,
her
like...
defense, not an active crack house.
Yeah.
That's the excuse she gives in the show.
Didn't she also
which is
assume...
kind of funny. I'll give them credit.
Didn't
That
she
is kind
also
of funny.
assume that Sunshine didn't speak English when she
Yeah,
first
before they
met?
started singing, she starts doing that
She's
thing.
like, "Hi, you're a big fan of me," and then like she pulls out her headphone and is like, "Huh, what?" And it's like, "Oh, you don't speak English." Like
My singing
there were
good.
a lot of there were a lot of slightly xenophobic jokes in Glee,
Yeah, no, lots of them.
and I don't know how much of that was like, "Haha, xenophobes are such a-holes," right? And how much of it was just like the writers being like, "Haha, we can make this joke because if anybody says anything, we'll just go, it's ironic."
I would bet
Like,
you
all
$10.
the anti-Semitic jokes against Rachel Berry.
There are lots of them. Yeah.
There are so many.
Do you know, here's what I think it is. This, like, I'm gonna put my tinfoil hat on for a second. I feel like all of, like, the xenophobic jokes in Glee are Lee Michelle being like, hey, I'm a xenophobe. And I want to
What?
say these things in the show. But I don't want to seem like a bad person, so make a bunch of anti-Semitic jokes so I can be the victim because I'm Rachel Berry and I'm Leigh Michelle and I'm the victim.
Did you stretch before you made that reach?
No, I've pulled several muscles making that.
Okay. That seems like a real reach.
I've made some crazy reaches in my life and like on this show, never to this extent.
I mean, you
Leigh
next you're gonna
Michelle's
tell
lawyers.
us-
Leigh Michelle's lawyers, if you're hearing this.
I'm
Don't
sorry,
represent
you think
her.
Leah Michelle's lawyers. What? What?
Just-
Leah Michelle's lawyers, you do your damnedest to represent her. You absolutely work hard. Proud of you. Make that money.
I'm sorry, she's your client.
Yeah, that's true. I am sorry about that, but make that cheddar.
Yeah.
Okay, and now my final issue that I have
With Rachel Berry,
with Rachel Berry.
and then we can just end the recording.
I
think
mean,
we have
oh
more
my-
to say.
I'm gonna,
Go ahead.
since this has just become what I love how adamant you are, Bob. I'm gonna keep this ship running
I was
smooth.
trying. I said I promised I would try, and I told you. You called me on that promise, and so I gave up.
You could have tried.
I could have tried
more.
again. You're right.
So since this has become
Okay. Let me
Wait.
meditate for like 2 seconds, and then I'll try again. Okay, go ahead.
anyway, my final issue that I personally had with Rachel Berry is that she did Kurt dirty 2 times. Okay, so it's no. Kurt has a big crush on Finn. That gets kind of blurry because at a certain point they're stepbrothers, but whatever, we don't talk about that. But Finn is straight, so Kurt just knows, like, okay, it's not gonna happen. I'm just gonna be, like, in love with him in the corner. And I'm sad. Rachel goes out with him. And at first she's like, well, at least we both can find solace in that neither of us are his type because you're a guy and I'm not Quinn. But then she does date him. So then she gets to live out the life that Kurt wants, which, like, that's not her fault. Tell me why. It's only season 2, and Kurt has a big crush on Darren Criss now, who he knows is gay and isn't his bully, and he has a real shot at this. So they all get drunk, and during a game of Spin the Bottle, Rachel and Darren Criss, Blaine, share a smooch. That's all fine. Kurt gets a little uncomfortable because they don't stop kissing and it goes on a little longer than it's comfortable for anybody in the room. But he's like, okay, fine. But then the next day, Rachel like keeps hanging out with him and basically is like going to steal him from Kurt. And it's like, can Kurt have one nice thing in his life? Rachel, leave Kurt alone. He just wants a blame.
So the two times she did him dirty were with Finn and then also with Blaine.
Yes.
Okay.
There's also other times she did him dirty just by being a trash person.
Well, yeah. I can I ask? There was you said they did the spin the bottle and they kissed for a little longer than was necessary. Blah blah blah. What? Why would you? Okay, I've never actually seen or heard of anyone actually playing spin the bottle.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
I've never experienced that or seen anyone do it. But if you were going to, why would you invite Rachel? Nobody likes her.
It was her party that nobody wanted to attend in the first place, but they all came, and at first, in the first 5 seconds of this, like, they all looked around. There was a pack of wine coolers, like 6 wine coolers.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone was like, okay, this is a great party. This has been great. We have dinner reservation. They try to leave. And then Rachel's like, wait, no. And then Puck is like, look, nobody likes you and nobody's going to have any fun with just 2 wine coolers. So you need to let me break into your dad's liquor cabinet. We'll restock it later before they're gone. They know anything's gone. And then she's like, okay. And then that's the only reason that anybody stays. Nobody wanted to spend the evening with her.
Okay, let's role play this out. Carina, you be the person suggesting spin the bottle. Then Zax, I want you to pretend to be Rachel Berry, and I want you to be like, ooh, that sounds like fun.
Make sure your voice is really annoying and nasally.
Yeah, really annoying. And then I'll be the person responding to Rachel Berry.
Okay, I'll try.
Okay, ready, everyone? Here we go.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, do you know what would be really funny?
What?
If we played Spin the Bottle.
Ooh, that sounds like a lot of fun.
The birthday girl doesn't get to play.
We don't like you, Rachel
That's what
Berry.
they should have done. They should have just made up an excuse right then and there and made her not play.
Or okay, here's another thing, okay? Bob, you're now the person suggesting, and I'm the other person. Zach, you have the same role.
You still have to be Rachel Berry.
Okay. Oh man, I always lose at this game.
All right. So I'm suggesting spin the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You know what would be really cool?
What?
If we played spin the bottle.
Ooh, that sounds like a lot of fun.
I have mono. No. Or
no, see,
no,
that ends
gross.
Spin the bottle for everyone, right? Why not you just say she has mono?
Or Rachel Berry is mono.
Rachel Berry is mono.
Rachel Berry's terrible.
Yeah, like, what about, like, they could have just come up with an excuse and then they could have all played spin the bottle.
Or they could have been like, no, Rachel, you're gross and insufferable. Nobody wants to kiss you.
Yeah, I mean, like, they just before that said, nobody likes you. It's not a secret. So, like, at that point, just tell her, no one wants to kiss you. We all want to kiss each other. I mean, we don't really want to, but we want to play spin the bottle. And, I mean, I would rather a cup of poison be on the other side of the bottle.
No one likes any of the cuts of Rachel's to give.
God, Rachel sucks. I hate her.
I mean, she's like, I think it's I kind of like having problematic people around. I just like a little bit of chaos. You guys know me, right?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes we ban people from the Steel Donut Discord. Most of the time we ban people because they're really shitty. But most of the time we ban people because they're really awful. But, like, sometimes there's a person who gets banned who I don't really want to ban because, like,
the chaos is fun.
The chaos is fun for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It's not fun for the rest of the admins or anybody else.
But just you.
Yeah. So, like, I understand why we have to ban them. But, like, I don't know if Rachel Berry would be somebody I would want to ban.
Would you want Rachel Berry in your Discord server?
I think I might.
I think I would welcome Rachel Berry in the Kind of Friends Discord server. By the way, if you're listening to this, you should totally join it. Link in
It's
the
a very
description.
fun, nice place to be.
We have
Yeah,
a positive...
sometimes the talk that happens in the video is preempted by the conversations we have in the Discord.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, not usual. Well, actually, it's usually more on topic in the Discord.
The other day, I think it might have been yesterday at the time of recording, Zax was like, "Hey, can somebody explain the drama surrounding this topic?" And for like an hour, just everybody's like frantically typing, like, "Here's what happened," myself included.
Several people are typing.
Oh my gosh, that was very fun to read, and I learned a lot.
Maybe that could be something we talk about. I feel like it's always going to be topical.
Yeah. No.
I mean, as long as that game's in development.
And it's been quite a while, so I think it's safe to say it will be in development whenever we talk about it.
It'll be topical.
Yeah. So
I think we all know what game we're talking about. I've mentioned it before offhandedly.
We're obviously talking about Minecraft.
Yeah.
Join the...
Oh wait, I just remembered Minecraft's creator is actually pretty problematic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You know who else is problematic? Rachel Berry.
Yeah.
Oh! Smooth segue.
I think, yeah, I do.
And
like
Michelle.
Yeah. I guess to close out, you know,
are we closing out?
I mean, we've been talking for like a good bit. I was thinking.
I think before we close off, does anybody have like their favorite Rachel Berry roast on hand?
I think the part I really love that clip where she writes me on the board and she says like, in Mr. Shu's absence, I would like everybody to go around the room and describe which piece you'd like to see me solo. And then there's like a moment of silence and then just Santana screaming.
Yeah.
And the cut back to Rachel Berry just going, ah, is great. That's fantastic. And actually that we were talking before we started recording. This is actually a thing that we probably should talk about. You said that you thought Lea Michelle's acting as Rachel Berry seemed like drama club acting.
Yeah.
I think Lea Michelle, horrible person as she apparently is, I think she plays Rachel Berry really well. In fact, I think her acting in the show is especially good because she's playing a character who's constantly acting. Like, high school students, the rest of the cast plays their characters very naturalistically, and she plays her character as someone who's trying to impress people, as opposed to someone who's, like, actually impressive. You know? When Bill Gates walks into the room, you go, oh, that's Bill Gates, wow. And, like, he's just chilled out, right? But, like, then there's those people who, like, try so hard to seem impressive that it's really obvious, and that's what I think she sells really well. I don't know if she's doing that on purpose.
I feel like Lea Michelle was just like being herself.
Yeah, maybe. And if that's true, that's not acting. That's just a bad personality to have. But there were lots of kids in high school that I knew who acted like that all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's what her character is supposed to be. And so I think that portrayal is really good. It does come across like drama club acting. And if we want to give her the benefit of the doubt, because she is apparently a pretty talented actor, Lea Michelle, I would say if we're going to give her the benefit of the doubt on that, then I would say that's a really good portrayal, because assuming she's capable of portraying other things, I haven't seen her in anything else, then that's a very good performance. You know, it's really hard to act like you're acting. You know, like, it reminds me of the show Barry. It's on HBO. Everybody's talking about it. It's a great show, whatever. I've only seen clips, but the clips I've seen, you see like the other actors, like it's about Bill Hader's character joining an acting class. The acting class, the other students in that acting class, a lot of them are supposed to be really bad, over dramatic actors, and the real world actors playing those characters in the show do a phenomenal job playing bad actors, because it's a much harder job than it seems. You have to be an actor pretending to be an actor. That's very difficult, and that's, I think, the job that Lea Michele accomplishes with Rachel Berry. She's an actor pretending to be someone who's constantly putting up a front.
My favorite Rachel Berry roast is when Santana says that she dresses like one of the bait girls on To Catch a Predator. Hey, come on in!
My least favorite Santana roast of Rachel Berry is when she says her mustache, I think she says her mustache is thicker than, I think like a
Middle Eastern dictator.
Middle Eastern dictator. But she doesn't say Middle Eastern dictators. She leaves off the apostrophe S, and that bothers me.
Thicker than a Middle Eastern dictator, because they are known for having a whole wagon.
Saddam was known for being thick. Like, what are you talking about? Grammar, people, it matters.
I also like when Quinn is like, can you stop talking? You're grossing out my baby.
I think I like when she asks Kurt, why is he giving her a makeover? And he's like, I'm a sucker for makeovers. Also, you have like a bad personality, and it's most of the time it's hard being in the same room with you. Especially this
one.
Yeah. It looks like, what did he say?
Where strawberry shortcake and Holly Hobby go to hook up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, people are...
Which, like, what? I like that, because I like how, from now on, I'm just gonna code strawberry shortcake and Holly Hobby as lesbians. I think that's sweet.
And then I also like when, when they're like, for whatever performance, they're like, that was really rude, and then I think Quinn is like, I've never wanted to punch you in the face more than Worcester. She was like, I have to agree. Like, even though you're a teacher, then I just picture just the whole class just like taking turns giving her a big punch in the belly.
Like Mr. Shu, as bad as he is, he was like, you know what? I know when to call you out, Rachel. Also, fun fact, did you know that Lea Michele and whatever his name is who played Mr. Shu, they dated before the show? That's weird.
Before the show?
Yeah.
How old was she?
I feel like she was grown. Hold on. Glee started in what year?
I want to say 2011.
I'm gonna do some math. Okay. So Lea Michele right now is 33 years old.
She's 33.
So Glee came out in, let's say, 2013, just to be safe.
Let me just
2013 minus...
Glee
Okay, so 7 years.
Started in 2009.
Okay, so 2020 minus 2009, that was 11 years ago. 33 minus 11 is 22.
So she's 22.
Okay. So she was 22 when Glee started, roughly. So I don't know how old Mr. Shu's actor would have been, but that's on the table.
Interessante.
Also, okay, just real quick, maybe this is the thing we're gonna say before we wrap it up. I know why, but why do shows about high school only cast people who are like 20 plus?
I don't think you're allowed to have teens canoodling on stage.
It's because the people, they're like, ooh, we want to have, fun, sexy scenes, but we also don't want this to get us in trouble, so we can't have 16-year-olds doing that. So I'm like, why do you want to have a show about teens doing sexy fun times? That seems a little gross.
Because it sells.
It's gross, though. Don't market a thing with that.
No.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say no to that.
No.
They have to.
No.
How else are they gonna get teens to watch it?
Having a good show.
No. Teens don't want that.
I did as a teen. I was like, I want a good show.
But then you watched Glee.
I did.
I don't know what to tell you. Like I know as a teen I didn't watch Glee. I didn't want good shows or bad shows.
I'm trying to think. What did I actually watch as a teen?
All I watched was like how it's made and the History Channel.
That was I
My
didn't
cat
like
just
that.
jumped
Look
up
at me
onto my
now.
desk.
I suck.
Good news, everyone. My cat has joined the recording.
Oh,
Okay. Mars?
Yes.
Oh, what a dummy.
What a little dum-dum. You don't know how to talk. You don't have anything to say. Please get your nose out of my face.
Do you think Mars would have something smart to say?
Let me ask
if
him.
he could speak?
No, absolutely not.
You didn't even ask him.
Okay, Mars, do you have anything intelligent to say? He left.
Okay.
He's like, I refuse to answer.
To be fair, though, imagine asking that to a human being.
Zax,
That would be horrible.
do you have any...
Hey!
I didn't have anyone else to ask. There was you.
You could have asked me.
Bob, do you have anything smart to say?
No.
Okay. Well, take it away, Zax.
I guess to wrap up, we've learned that
Nothing.
we're never gonna stay on track. Rachel Berry is awful. Mr. Shu at least needs to sit before a disciplinary committee at the very least.
No. We have not concluded that from this episode. That's when we talk about Mr. Shu.
Ooh.
On the next episode of Deep Dish.
No, don't say it's on the next episode. There's probably going to be another one.
It's
in between.
probably when we're going to talk about the thing in the Discord server that we talked about.
Yeah,
Maybe.
we'll just work him out.
We'll figure it out.
Don't believe us on our schedules in video. Just be glad that Lindsay Lohan month happened pretty shortly after we talked about it happening.
Yeah.
Also,
pretty good.
Leah Michelle was very mean to people. I don't like that she got people fired. I'm just gonna put my 2 cents there.
Sis, you know what you did to Amber and Samantha. You know what you did to all the other extras on the show who were people of color. You know what you did, Lee Michelle. That's not nice.
Hang on. This is another thing. Let me say this real quick. I don't think what Carina just did was useful. I'm not trying to call you out, although I am slightly, but I just want to make a point of clarification. I don't think that's useful. And the reason I don't think it's useful is because she has lived with herself, having done those things, and apparently continuing to be that person since then. So saying, like, you know what you did, like, unless she was constantly racked by guilt, that tactic never works.
Okay.
Right?
So, like, what should I say instead, then?
I'm not sure. Like, I think the very end of what you said was exactly what we need to be saying. That's not good. That's bad.
Lee Michelle, you're bad.
You're bad.
You're bad.
I think that is something that might speak to the person. Okay. Where we just tell, because, like, if I'm doing something that's really crappy and people don't like that about me, just telling me what I did isn't necessarily going to help me see that it's bad.
Mm-hmm. Lee Michelle, you seeing an opportunity in our current social political climate, and you being like, oh my god, oh, that's so terrible, we need to do better. You need to do better. Yeah, you need to do better, period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, if you want to, like, obviously we should be treating people equally and nicely and respecting everybody's autonomy, etc. But, like, it's hard to take someone seriously when they say, like, treat people with respect, when the person's saying it doesn't treat anybody with respect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have to be able to, at least respect some people, I mean, like, I think she called extras cockroaches.
Yeah.
And
she threatened to defecate in Samantha's wig.
I mean, like, no, I mean, specifically calling extras cockroaches is so interesting to me because it demonstrates, in a single word, it demonstrates such a depth of devaluing another human being. it's so clearly you've devalued them to an insect that we've all basically agreed sucks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I can't name a single person who likes cockroaches, you know? And it's like, like, where in her entire life has she ever seen a respectable person do that?
It's cartoonishly egotistical.
Exactly. And that's like, how does someone end up like that? How does somebody get there? I want to see what the transition points were between tabula rasa baby and that.
Yeah.
You know, was there a point where, like, she was like a baby and a nurse was holding her and the nurse just looked at the baby and went, this is the world's worst baby. Like, was there ever a moment like that?
I think it's
Or was it somewhere during childhood?
It's important to know that...
like, a teacher went, oh no, this kid sucks.
Oh man. It's important to know that ignorance and hatred is a taught behavior. Nobody comes into this world being like, I hate this. It's something you see, and it's something that over
ignorance
time
is explicitly not taught.
You know what I'm getting at.
No, I mean,
though.
that's it, yeah, but like bigotry is taught.
Yeah, that's
bigotry
what I meant.
is learned.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hatred is learned behavior.
So at some point it was normalized, and she was like, I can treat people this way because I'm Leigh Michelle and I'm Rachel Berry.
Yeah.
And I'm a star because I put a gold star next to my name as a metaphor.
Yeah.
You know what? Rachel Berry and Leigh Michelle, stars burn out. And yours just did.
Oh my god.
I mean, we're all made of dead stars.
Yeah.
You bringing Stargirl into this?
No, I'm bringing if she's a star, I don't know. I don't want to make this seem like I'm threatening her. I'm not threatening her life.
Leigh Michelle's lawyers, just a reminder.
I'm not threatening her life. I'm just saying we're made of star stuff.
Well, Lee...
I was trying to bring Carl Sagan into this, but now it sounds like I'm telling her she's gonna die.
Listen, we all die. You either kill yourself or get killed.
Well,
What you gotta
That's
do?
not true either!
What you gonna do?
Whoa! No!
Well, the sound of...
There are lots of other ways people die!
No!
Well...
No, that's... You think about it. We'll talk about it later, because I think Zach's is trying to wrap it up.
The second call
I'm trying to cover us legally. You can't just say people you either kill yourself or you die. You get killed. That's not true.
It's a fine reference.
Okay, as long as it's a vine. I thought you were just saying that because you were being crazy and trying to put us into legal jeopardy.
No, that's why I was drumming on my desk, because that's the sound that he makes.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Oh man.
Okay.
Well,
That's all right.
the second bout with legal trouble means it's time to wrap up this episode.
In conclusion, Your Honor.
Yeah.
In conclusion, please
And
remember...
as my final exhibit, I'd like to say that I'm guilty.
Lock me up. Take me away.
In conclusion, the crazy heads.
This electric chair is very uncomfortable.
Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe because we all need friends.
Yay.
We all are crazy. Goodbye.
Hit the switch. I'm ready.
Yay.